odds and ends going on here on this historic day. Here's the spider. There it is, plain as day. That red line was the former lifetime high. Former, I say. January 28 it was set. And we took weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to go down and a few days to go up to undo all that loss and then some. So there we have it. New lifetime high poking its head above that red line. As I mentioned, the Dow's not really playing along. Not only is it not anywhere close to a lifetime high, but it has still respected this gap. Gap was never sealed. And yeah, it's odd because it's actually managing to be red on a day like this. And EFA also is red, down about 1/3%. I mentioned this yesterday in terms of its still good setup with the broken wedge and the gaps still unviolated. And, who knows if it'll actually manage to push finally into that chunk to seal the gap. But kind of a surprising outlier considering everybody's stumbling all over themselves to buy every equity in sight. In contrast to this, the small caps, IWM, are up a little bit. Looks like a lifetime closing high on this one. It hasn't busted above the intraday high that was established back here, but that is a subtlety. It wouldn't take much to do so. But just across the board, the past 2.5 weeks have just control Z'd the entire tumble. Tech stocks, the cubes, are particularly strong. 1.19%. Right near the top. It looks like, just eyeballing it here, this looks like a lifetime high close as well coming up. We peaked here back in late October. We did it again in late January. And here we are for the third time in this. And this range has been in place for a very long time. Whether or not the range matters anymore remains to be seen. As it is now, we are at the top of the range. And, if there were selling to be had, that's plenty of room for weakness. But the way the market's acting, you never know. This has been just an incredible squeeze. And you can see it reflected, of course, in the leveraged instruments like poor old SQQQ here, lifetime low. And in a really short amount of time, too. It was only a couple of weeks back that this sucker was trading up almost at 100. And as it is now, we're down about 40% from there. Just boom, just unrelenting plunge. And this goes for the QID or FGND or any other bearish leveraged instrument out there. We can also see this reflected in the FNGS. This ETF is about the FANG stock, as the ticker symbol suggests. This was the topping pattern for that, and it did a good job at the time. We topped out, pushed a little bit back into the pattern, and just a whole series of lower lows, lower highs, bottoming, of course, around the 30th of March, just like everything else. And then whoosh, up it goes, piercing into this distribution top. So just across the board, it's just been a bear killer. Semiconductors, interesting little quirk here. They're actually red today. Maybe they have to digest some of those huge gains they've had recently. We were at a lifetime high just yesterday on this. And I talked about how this was a real fake out because we had plunged here and then zipped all the way through the pattern and then even higher. Intraday, a lifetime high, but it looks like we'll be just a little below yesterday's lifetime high on SMH. But in the midst of this, so for example, Nvidia is up about 0.7%, but it's still range bound. As you can see, we've been in this one all the way back to July, and it has had a very good 2.5 weeks, just like everything else, but no clear pattern, no clear breakout either. AMD is in the vicinity of lifetime highs. They were established here and then here and then here again. So the key for the bulls would be to cut above that level. And with AI optimisms come roaring back with Anthropic and OpenAI maybe going public this year. That should add a lot of fuel to the fire, and of course flow right into semiconductors. And then Micron, MU, is down pretty decently, about $12.50 off about 2 2/3%. In this instance, it's just a big old V. This was a lifetime high here, fell hard, and then undid all of that. So we are right in the vicinity of lifetime highs on that one, but burning off some of that big gain that MU had yesterday. Now, it's indicative of the weirdness of this market right now. A couple of stocks. One of them I mentioned yesterday, which is CAR. This is, I guess, the latest meme instrument. I'm not sure what kicked things off, but this has had an explosive move from down around 80 up to around 400. And as I said yesterday, it's kind of a question like, when does the music stop and somebody doesn't have a chair to sit in anymore? Maybe it's happened. I don't know. I mean, one day does not a trend break, but this is the first meaningful red bar this thing has had during this entire, not even what to call this move higher. But yeah, you can see here a very unusual color in this explosive move. And it's down. I mean, it's just a blip considering what it's experienced, but it is down over 10% right now. And if this starts to feed on itself, I think you'll see a whole acceleration in people just running for the exits. Some poor souls yesterday near the close bought at these prices and they're already down, 10% or so. It'd be interesting to see how this follows through. The other weird bird is Bird. This is Allbirds. And I was mentioning this, did a post about it maybe a week or so ago, because until today, the distinction of this was just how poorly it had done as a stock. I don't remember the exact figures, but the valuation of the company went from something like, don't quote me on this, but this is you'll get the idea, like from $4 billion value to like 26 million, something like that. They got bought for just peanuts. They make shoes, evidently made from wool, which is an interesting choice. But yeah, it was just a flop as a public company. And but the news today is they've pivoted. Gone are the wool shoes, and now they're going to, I think, lease out servers for AI applications. I mean, it couldn't be more different. And you can see the result. This is the effect it's had. It's up about 700% on the day. And I mean, that's a big pivot. I mean, if you went from like making computer peripherals to making servers, it wouldn't be quite as big a change. This one, that's a big shift. I got to say, though, this is not unprecedented. You may remember back in 2017, Long Island iced tea. They made iced tea and lemonade, things like that. They went from that to blockchain, Bitcoin. And their stock kind of did this too. Boring old tea company became the hottest thing around. It didn't go that well afterward. They're still in the pink sheets, I think, right now. But it was, quite a debacle. So whatever lucky ducks bought this thing in prior days, congrats. But as with CAR, it'll be interesting to see how this thing actually pans out. As I said, it's not all completely bleak for the one or two bears still left out there. The shorts I talked about yesterday are doing weirdly well. XHB, I mentioned yesterday, down about 2 2/3%. Wow, not bad. And then XLB, materials, is down about 1.12% right now, turning away nicely from those gaps. So those worked out. Over in precious metals land, got to say, I think the bloom's still off the rose on these guys. If you look at platinum, you can see a lot of overhead supply here. It's going to have trouble cutting through. Palladium, PALL, same deal. Big chunk of overhead supply. And it's, I think it's going to be pretty tired after the modest recovery it's created here. A little more heavily traded GLD, talked about this yesterday. A couple of gaps here. This gap was sealed and a little bit more yesterday. I'm just going to leave that there as a marker because, between friends, a few pennies, not a big deal. So we got that gap and then we've got this gap here. We have turned away somewhat in spite of overall strong assets. Gold itself is down not quite 1% today, and more relevant to my own ideas, GDX. I talked about shorting this one yesterday, and this is down nicely, not quite 2.5%. So that gap held nicely, and we've turned away from yesterday's strength. So far, so good. Sticking with that one. And of course, Dust is a leverage instrument that's actually doing well. This is up a bit more than 5%. And this may have the makings of a more sustained run. This is a pretty cool little inverted head and shoulders pattern here, and we found some stability here. So this may enjoy a good ride higher. But I'm keeping it simple just with GDX. I will mention that I have closed at a profit, small profit, but a profit nonetheless, IBIT, because as weird as this market is acting, I'm just getting even more cautious than before. So I've said thanks to IBIT. I'm out of that. And more broadly, if we look at the critter that's going to drive IBIT, of course, it's Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is up a little, a few $100. And if it can cross above this level here, if it can beat yesterday's high, then it could be in for a little bit of a nicer run. It'd have a pretty easy time sealing up this gap. If things get really saucy, we could push through here, but that'll be a lot tougher. This is the simple move, like so, to seal that gap up. But all in all, for myself, not really much of a change. Just LIGHT committing is light. Trying for the handful of positions I am in, trying to pick wisely, because this is a very lofty market again, and there's precious little I'd be interested in actually buying right now. But on the short side, as vicious as it's been against the bears, I don't want to get run over. So I'm still keeping it lean. So I'll see you tomorrow here. Thanks as always for swinging by. Good night.